Now then, this is a question about circular motion. And I always find that it's a really good idea to think a little bit about circular motion before we get going in on these questions, especially when you're given a drawing which is kind of 3D, as in this particular instance. We've got a stuntman who's riding a motorcycle on the inside surface of a cylinder. Now, whilst it is 3D, it's important to sort of think in 2D here and to think, where's the center of the circle? Well, the center of the circle is just the center of the cylinder. So it's always a good idea to kind of identify where in this position the center might approximately be. Right? We then need to think about the significance of that center. Well, in order for circular motion to happen, there must be a net resultant force which is acting towards the center. And in other words, something that's like the arrow that I've drawn on the screen. Now, this is much easier for us to see in the diagrams which are given as the answers. Okay, I'm just going to put our X. We're expecting an X somewhere in this position. You'll notice it's to the right of the motorcyclist as we see it. And that's because we're currently in the position shown in the diagram. Okay. So really, the key to answering this question is to identify which of these diagrams is allowing a resultant force which points towards that center, towards that X. Hopefully you can see, we'll start with B, that in D there is no force acting towards the X. There's only an upwards and a downwards force, and so therefore this is not possible. In B, similarly, we have a force acting to the left but not to the right, and so therefore this must be wrong. Now, we've got two options, A and C. Both of them include the normal reaction force, which is pointing towards the center. That's fantastic. But what A ignores is the weight and the friction. Now, in this case, the weight and the friction are balancing each other so that the resultant force is towards the center. So that's the kind of tricky thing about A and C. The resultant force is the same in both. However, A misses the details, i.e. misses the real forces which are acting on the system. In this case, the friction, which is preventing the motorcycle from falling down the wall as it follows its circular path. And that's why the answer here is C.